So. We are live. Hold on. Can you not hear me? Can you not hear me? Waiting for the stream to load up for you all. Hold on. Here we go. We're live. I know, before people sit there and state the obvious, it isn't transfer deadline day today. It's tomorrow. However, it is pretty much the last, 36 hours of the window. And I was bored. So I thought, why not come on and stream? I'm going to share the stream. And also I wanted to get my Premier League predictions out of the way now. Sorry, hold on. I am, as I say, we are live. Right, sorry about that. Just sharing my stream. And yeah, I wanna get my Premier League predictions out of the way for the upcoming season. We can still do a stream tomorrow. I will still try and do a stream tomorrow. However, yeah, I don't know. I just thought I was fucking bored. Why not come on and stream thingy? By the way, if the stream does end randomly, it's because my internet would have turned off, which it does when someone goes past it, which might happen soon. I don't know. Yeah, as I say, but at a minute, we're live. We're live. We're going to be discussing Sancho. We're going to be discussing Ugarte, which should be announced today. It is a complete deal, guys. Manuel Ugarte to Man United. There we land. For you cringe merchants out there. However, yeah, we're going to be discussing Sterling, which I might actually do a video on, by the way. But I'm actually glad. I'm actually very, very glad that Manchester United did not do a swap deal, and Sancho is going to go to Juventus if he does leave United. Did not do a swap deal for fucking Raheem Sterling, because he's not. Raheem Sterling is 29. He's on more He's on more wages than Sancho, albeit we'll get him on loan, so we'll get him for probably half the wages, right? And he's not a better player than Sancho anymore. He's not. What's he got that Sancho can't do? His IQ ain't good. His finishing's meaty. Do you know what I mean? He ain't got a good first touch. He isn't a leader. He isn't a big game player. He's fucking washed. Chelsea don't want him. Yeah, so if we did end up swapping Sancho for Sterling, we'd be strengthening our quote-unquote top four rivals, even though I don't think that's a rivalry in top four, but we'd be strengthening our top four rivals, quote-unquote, and we'll be, as I say, we'll be signing a player, by the way, saving them again like we did with Mount last season, saving them with FFP problems. It's fucking ridiculous. No. If Sancho goes, send him to Juventus. Don't send him to fucking Chelsea. Fucking ludicrous deal. But I'm glad. I believe Ineos. I believe in the project. I believe Ineos are actually not going to give him to Chelsea, as they know that it will strengthen them. And what's in it for United, really and truly? What's in it for United? Same way I don't really agree with what's in it for United to sell him to Juventus. But if United do end up getting 40 million for him next season, which is what they want an obligation to buy. They will not accept the deal without an obligation to buy. They're standing on business, which I agree that they should do. However, if they do send him to Juventus and it doesn't get an obligation to buy, what does that get at United? Seriously, might as well just keep him. United get nothing out of it. So United have to get the obligation to buy, because they do. At the end of the day, Sancho does want to leave. Whether the club actually want to sell him or not, I'm sure they would have fucking said clean slate with a player like Sancho, because they can see the ability. We saw what he did in the Champions League last season. We've seen what he's done just throughout his career. Everyone knows Sancho is a baller, yeah? But the problem is, the right system and the right environment, and he hasn't delivered at United. He hasn't. But yeah, why would we give him to Chelsea for swap still for fucking Sterling. He's a better player than Sterling nowadays. He's better. He's got more potential than Sterling has got for the next couple of years. Sterling's washed. Sterling's played over 600 games in his career. He's 29. 29, he's washed. And he was never that great anyway. So he was a good player. I used to rate him. Don't get me wrong, I didn't used to rate him. Yeah? I'm not one of these people that sit there and didn't actually rate Sterling. I actually thought he was half decent. But he ain't that good. It's his system that got most out of him. And he's washed. He's lost a burst of pace. He's lost as I say, lost a burst of pace. His decision making he's probably the most dumbest footballer. And by the way, we watch Rashford week in, week out. He's probably the dumbest footballer on earth, by the way, Raheem Sterling. Yeah, nothing in it for me for Man United. Why on earth would you go out there and actively strengthen your quote unquote, as I say, top 4 rivals and take one of their rejects? No, we don't need it. We do need another winger if Sancho do go, but we won't get one. But cool. You know what I mean? That's all cool. Ahmad's basically the same attack as last season, except Xerxes, and obviously Martial's gone. But Xerxes replaced Martial, which is an upgrade because Martial could barely stay fit, and Martial was washed. Let's face it, Martial was washed. His legs are gone. His legs had gone. The injury record and and Xerxes is actually an half decent footballer, as I say. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how the season goes. As I say, we are going to get into the Premier League predictions. I'm going to get into them. But yeah, that was just my thoughts on the Sancho Sterling deal. I can't see that happening. I can't see us strengthening, as I say, top 4 rivals, and then kind of weakening us a little bit. Not really weakening us, but kind of weakening us. Yeah, that's just what I personally think of it. Don't know what you guys think of it, personally. But yeah, moving on. Ugarte should be announced today. That should be done. It was a done deal, I think, 2 days ago, I think. So I don't know why it wasn't announced yesterday, but I imagine he's probably doing his medical or whatever. Announced to be done by today. Should be hopefully in the squad by Sunday. And then boom, moving on. We get that's done. Move on. If we can get another deal done over the line, so be it. We need another midfielder really, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see with all that. And what else am I going to talk about? That's probably it. We're going to roll into. We could talk about other teams as well as we go along, but we're going to roll into the Premier League predictions. So here we have it here. Where do I move my face? I'll move my face down here. Do I want to move it down here? Hey, how it's stretched out, man. Alright, anyways, moving on. We are going to start with... I mean, I imagine... What does D mean? I have no idea what that means. Yeah. But we're going to start with relegation, 18 to 20. The tin pot clubs, the embarrassments, the parachute payments, merchants. I don't know what the D means, by the way. I really don't. Yeah, as I say, right, move that down. Can I delete it? Delete row. There you go. So maybe they just wanted the 5th row. I don't know. I mean, this is a bit weird. This one, I can't even lie. Hold on. We're gonna find Premier League predictor for the fuck's sake, I forgot to type 24, 25. Oh, let's see if I can find one. There you go. This is much better. Is this the correct one? It is the correct one. Yeah, this one's much better. Right, hold on. Let's zoom in a bit so we don't get any fucking ads. Oh shit, sorry. What the fuck have I done here? Oh fuck, no. Oops. Right, hold on. Right. Sorted. We're going to start off with relegation. No idea, by the way, why Conference League is there. We're going to do that. Starting off with relegation. Who do I think will be relegated? Well, firstly... Pretty simple. straight up. Ipswich going straight back down. Parachute payments in full effect. Straight back down Ipswich Town. That rhymed. Ipswich are going straight back down. The reason why they're going straight back down is because they've got a naive coach. They've got a naive way of playing. They've got a naive thinking that they think they can go away to the Etihad. And this is, for some reason, this is now celebrated in English football. I really don't get it. But you can go away to the Etihad and think they can get their goalkeeper halfway off his line in the box and trying to play out from the back. Hence why they were 1-0 up, by the way, and conceded 2 goals. They got 2 goals. One was the Savio one to De Bruyne, and our Haaland one, I can't really remember it. I think it was a penalty, actually, wasn't it? Could be wrong, I don't know. I mean, if you just go look at it, it's just embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, the level of arrogance and entitlement that apparently they say Man United fans and the big club fans have a level of entitlement and the arrogance and all that. But, I mean, who even thinks that a newly promoted side, you're going away to the best team in the country by an absolute country mile, yeah, probably the hardest place to go in the country for a new play side, and you're trying to play out from the back and try and play tiki-taka ball. I mean, just whatever happened to 4-4-2, stick 10 men behind the ball. I mean, have a bit of shame. That's probably why Forest stayed up, because Forest are like that. Forest make it hard for their opponents. You just make it so easy for City. They went there and they were 1-0 up in 7 minutes. They give you a free goal. Do you know what I mean? And then you fucking get steamrolled because you just gave them 2 goals in the space of what? What was it? Well, I think it's 3 goals in the space of about 20 minutes. It's like pathetic. I'm sitting there like bowling my eyes out, thinking like, what on earth are these lot doing? Do you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, Ipswich are gone. Done, sealed, dusted. There's no way that they'll be going. There'll be no way they'll be surviving with that. They won't. I think they do well to get 20 points. Genuinely, I feel like they do well to get 20 points. Another one. Ooh, Ipswich or Leicester. No, Ipswich or Everton or Leicester. Southampton. Do you know what? I'm gonna do it. I think there comes a time where your luck runs out in life. You know, you can only escape death so many times. If you get stabbed so many times, there's only a certain amount of blood you can lose. There's only a certain amount of times you can keep pouncing around the relegation zone. You can keep flirting with relegation, or you can keep flirting with someone else's girl, and then the man punches you up. Yeah, it's only a certain amount of times, and I believe Everton have flirted with relegation for far too long, and it will come back to bite them. This time, I think they will actually be relegated. They've started the season off with 7 goals conceded, 0 goals, 0 wins, 0 points. They've been absolutely atrocious, albeit they did play Brighton and Tottenham, who are 2 superior teams. But, yeah, as I say, there's nothing else to be said about them. They're too focused on their fucking new stadium. Ooh, hey mate, that's Bosla. That's fucking Bosla. That's Bosla. Anyways, yeah. So I lost track there. Fucking always happens to me. But moving on, we're gonna go to the third team, and I actually think. See, this one's difficult. This one is difficult, but I'm gonna go Southampton. Only just. I think, do you know what, we'll say it now. I think there'll be 6 teams, that probably flirt with relegation this season. Probably Bournemouth. Yeah? Probably them 6 teams that flirt with relegation this season. Them will be the 6 teams. I think Palace and Leicester I think Bournemouth will flirt with it, but they'll finish comfortably above it. I think Palace and Leicester will be very, very close to it, but I think they'll just survive on the skin of their teeth. Southampton, I think, will finish 18th. I think this is actually the table will go. I think tell a lie. I think Palace finish 16th, I think Palace finish 16th, Leicester 17th, Southampton 18th, Everton 19th. I can see that. I can see that, because Southampton, by the way, are an half decent team. They've got half decent players, and they actually play quite decent, like, strategic football. It's not just very open. But I mean, when you're going away to Newcastle and you're playing against 10 men and you lose the game, you can see the goal and lose the game. When you're losing at home to Forest, I mean, you're only going to get punished for that at the end of the day. You're only going to get punished for that. Losing at home to Forest is unforgivable. I've completely forgot about Forest, though. I will actually take them out. Never mind. Bournemouth won't be flirting with relegation. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't think they are. I think I've got to take that back. I completely forgot about Forest. Forest. I'd actually go that way. I think Forest. I think Palace 15th, Forest 16th, Leicester 17th. That would take everything back I just said the last 1 minute ago. I think that's how it will be. Mainly because Forest are always there. Eventually Forest will get relegated, but Forest, one thing about them is they're a bit like how Everton were at Goodison. Whereas Everton at Goodison, you didn't really want to go to Goodison. You didn't really want to go there. You know what I mean? They made it hard for teams. Pause. And yeah, Forest, going away to Forest, I think it's the City ground, isn't it? It is hard. I would know as a United fan. I don't believe you've actually won there in the Premier League. I could be wrong in the last 2 seasons. Could be wrong. Are we? Have Man United won there? We lost there last season, I know that for sure. Even Arsenal have lost there before. So, yeah. It's a very difficult place to go, as I say. Yeah. So moving on. Talk about Palace and Bournemouth. These things are going. These places around here, I'm not going to talk too much about them. I think Palace will probably finish about within 7 to 10 points of the relegation zone. Purely fact because they're shit. They're awful. They're an awful team, and they should be relegated because they've just ponced around again like Everton. They just ponced around the Premier League for years. And not really done nothing. Sold all their best players this season. Sold Anderson. Sold Elise. But if Newcastle want to pay up, they'll end up selling Gahey as well. As I say, so they've just ponced around really in the league for however many years, and hopefully they do get punished. But I don't think they will. I think because everyone else is just so shit that Palace will just survive. Yeah, I mean, they're better a team than Everton, they're a better team than Ipswich, they're a better team than Southampton, they're better than Forest, and they're better than Leicester. And they also do have a bit of a thing that Nottingham Forest have, whereas you don't want to go to Selhurst Park sometimes. Sometimes you do, you know what I mean? But sometimes you don't. Some teams don't want to go there. It's a difficult game. Saying that, West Ham just went there and won 2-0. So yeah, make that what you will. So what's that? That's 15th, 16th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. Right, so now we're going to get to 13th. I'm going to stick Wolves in there. I'm going to stick Brentford in there. I'm going to probably... Do you know what? I reckon Wolves, 14th. Oh no, Fulham. Yeah, I reckon that's how I reckon it go. Fulham, 14th. Wolves, 13th. Bournemouth, 12th. Brentford, 11th. Or maybe it'd be between around there. This is really irrelevant. These type of positions, they're just irrelevant. They're just, again, they're like Crystal Palace have been there for 10 years, just floating around mid-table, just a boring nothing club. And yeah, these teams are there. They're just there in the Premier League to, on the off game, fuck up a big club who's trying to win a title or something. They'll try to fuck them up on an away day or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just inevitable, as I say. And yeah, these teams will do that a few times this season. But other than that, there's just nothing else really needs to be said about them. They'll just be floating around there, just having a boring season. There'll be no adrenaline rush from the surviving relegation. We've escaped the drop. I mean, by the way, I don't know what league in the world ever hypes up a relegation battle. I really don't. But the Premier League marketing is something else. Something else. Because none of these teams, by the way, in the relegation zone here would do anything in La Liga. And they wouldn't be hyped up in La Liga for being relegated. It's unbelievable what the Premier League PR does. But anyways, moving on. What are we on? 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. No, this is 11th. So who's going to finish 10th? I reckon West Ham, Newcastle. Newcastle 9th, West Ham 10th. Yeah. I reckon it'll go that way. West Ham are going to... West Ham have been hyped up quite a lot because they got this manager with a funky name. I mean, he's been, because he's Spanish, people think he's some ball playing goalkeeper, fucking manager. He's really not that. He's really not anything out of the ordinary. He's just a half decent coach. As I say, just a half decent coach, and yeah, they've made some half decent signings. They've won the transfer window. They made some half decent signings actually. Which actually, do you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, Newcastle there. Newcastle finish thingy. Brighton will finish 8th. No. Brighton will finish 8th. West Ham will finish 9th. Newcastle will finish 10th. That's what I think. Newcastle have had an absolute stinker of a transfer window. I mean, I don't even know one player of any value they've bought this summer transfer window. It's been an absolute stinker of a transfer window for them. They needed a centre back. They needed a right winger. Desperately needed a right winger. They needed probably an extra body in midfield, just in case one of their midfielders gets injured and they're playing Longstaff. They needed another centre back. They probably needed another fullback, although they have bought them young fullbacks, so they're probably investing in hopefully Lewis Hall and Livramento actually does well. But I just can't see them getting. I can't see them getting above 9th. I really can't. They are going to have a stinky season. But obviously, do you know what I mean? It's okay though, because they sold Dan Ashworth for 10 million. They scammed United. They scammed Manchester United for 10 million and got someone better who hasn't bought a fucking player. And they're all up in arms. But it's okay though. Do you know what I mean? They're still downplaying Dan Ashworth to this day. Remind me last summer, how many players did you sign? That's right. So remember you're hyping up Livramento. Remember who bought him? Do you know what I mean? Can you please wear your Manchester United shirt? Mate, I can't be asked. I really cannot be asked. If you want to go look in the other videos. I can't be asked. Yeah. Anyways. Newcastle are... it's just funny to see Geordie tears because they seem to force a rivalry with us. West Ham, as I say, they've won the transfer window and all that rubbish. They'll be 9th. Wan-Bissaka's a decent signing. Füllkrug is a decent player, but the thing is, Füllkrug, he's got no mobility because he's got such a beer belly on him. So Füllkrug playing in that number 9 role in the Premier League is going to be a struggle. It's probably going to be a waste of money. I can't even lie. And Brighton, by the way, we're going to talk about Brighton. And listen, fair play to him. Fair play to him. Because I'm not the biggest fan of Tony Blair. I think he's well overhyped as an owner. I think what they've done is well overhyped. But fair play to him because... please, hold on one sec, mate. Please, can you wear your Manchester United shirt before I go to work? I can't be arsed, mate. What's it called? Anyways, I fucking lost track of what I was saying now. Brighton... I've actually had a brilliant transfer window. Matt O'Reilly is one to watch this transfer window. Matt O'Reilly might be one of the... It will not surprise me. As I said, I've bookmarked it. Within next season, next transfer window, next summer transfer, or the summer transfer window after, Matt O'Reilly to one of the big clubs or to another big club in Europe or whatever, 80 million to 900 million. He's an unreal football player. He's a top player. That's a brilliant signing. They signed that Turkish left back who's half decent, as I say. Quite highly touted. I haven't watched him much, so I don't know. I have actually watched Matt O'Reilly, by the way, and I've got Scottish friends that are Celtic fans and Rangers fans, and everyone knows Matt O'Reilly is a top player, and he's only 23, and I'm surprised Arsenal didn't go in for him. I'm really surprised Man United didn't go in for him because he would have been fucking perfect for our midfield. You know what I mean? A bit of tech, bit of defensive awareness, bit of everything, bit of skill, can score goals. Do you know what I mean? He's a tenacious player. Matt O'Reilly is a top player, and Brighton have actually... I've hats off to them because I've criticised that club for selling their best players every year and not reinvesting the money. But this summer transfer window, they've reinvested that money and spent over 200 million. And fair play to them. Europa League quarter final of it last year. Obviously, they're not in Europe this year, but you know, as I said, I think they'll probably just miss out on it this summer, this season. But overall, they've had a great transfer window. And top of all the ballers they already had in João Pedro and these type of players, they're just proper ballers. They've got a nice team this summer. They built another team, but they already had a good team a few years ago with McAllister, Caicedo. Who's the other players that they had? I can't even fucking think of. I don't know. My mind's gone blank for some reason. They also have Matoma there as well. I know he's still there. But yeah, I think they'll just miss out on 8th because I think Villa are going to get 7th. I think Villa are just a 2-step. But the main reason why, Brighton don't have an elite manager. Villa do. And that's why I think Chelsea 6th, Villa 7th, Spurs 5th, and yeah, that's how I think it will go. The 5th to 6th to 7th. In this one, I'll be honest, it can go any order. It can go from Villa to 5th to Spurs 7th. It can go from Chelsea 5th to Spurs 7th. It can go either way. Do you know what I mean? For me, all 3 of these teams could finish in those positions, and in fact, all 3 of these teams could arguably get in the top 4. They've all got an argument to be made that they could make the top 4. I don't necessarily think they will. So I don't necessarily think they will, but Villa's got the elite manager, which is better manager than Ange and Enzo. Chelsea have the best attack probably out of all of them. Villa probably the most well-round team. And Spurs probably play the best football out of all of them. They all have very good saves to make the arguably top 4, as I say, and arguably in and around the positions of Europa and Conference League. I think they'll be a level above the Brightons, be a level above the West Hams and Newcastles. But I think, maybe this is hope, I think Manchester United will be the team that gets top 4 alongside Liverpool. I think Liverpool 3rd, Manchester United 4th. And the reason I think that is maybe biased. It maybe is biased. I will not lie to you. I cannot even lie to you. It maybe is biased. However, we've had a good transfer window, better transfer window than Chelsea, probably a better transfer window than Spurs as well. I haven't really looked at what Spurs done, and I haven't really looked at what Villa's done. Villa have also lost their best player. I'm going to change it. But no, by the way, Spurs 5th. I've fucking done it wrong. Spurs 5th, Chelsea 6th, Villa 7th. I think that's how it will go. But as I say, moving on to this one, I think we've had a better transfer window than Chelsea and Spurs. I think with the injuries of last season, and a lot of the players coming back, Ahmad's like a new signing. Leandro is, he wasn't here much last season. Luke Shaw hopefully will be fit. Mazraoui's there for depth. Ugate's there for depth, so we don't have to play McTominay in midfield when Casemiro's thingy in. When Casemiro's suspended or injured. Do you know what I mean? De Ligt's there for depth. You know what I mean? Which is better than playing Johnny Evans as your centre back. As I say, what was I going to say now? I've lost track of word. Xerxes there for depth. That's more depth. That's more goals. As someone who's a bit different. He's a bit of a link-up player. Can play through the lines. Can play passes. Smart, intelligent player. Uses his brain, sort of thing. Decent little player, as I say. And hold on. Yeah, Rasmus Højlund, who, as I say, isn't that great. So let's hope he's moved to the bench. I just think we had a better transfer window. We've addressed more issues than Chelsea, who still have a leaky defence. Their midfield is still injury prone and it's still not the greatest. Their attack looks good, but let's face it, we know what Neto's like. Neto's going to be injured. Felix isn't going to score that many goals. He's a very inconsistent footballer. Most likely, Cole Palmer's obviously unreal. I'm not going to sit here and disrespect Cole Palmer because he is unreal, but let's face it, we have no guarantee. I think they'll probably score more goals than us, but I think they'll miss out just purely on the fact that their defence isn't the greatest. Liverpool 3rd, no sign. Well, they've just signed Chiesa, but do you know what I mean? There's not much that needs to be said about that. As I say, Liverpool are they're just standard in it. They're just going to be there. They won't be close to fifth, and they won't be close to second or first. You know what I mean? It will just be like they were like. I mean, they sort of brought it towards the end of last year. Difference about 7-8 points off. They'll be around that same this season. Players like Trent, Salah, Van Dijk last season probably for some of them. Alisson, they've got good enough players to make the top four very comfortably. It will just be, yeah, that's what I'll say. I think it will just be them finishing what is it? What would it be? Third, probably I'd say a few points at the United, maybe 7 to 10, but I think the gap will be quite far off. And moving on. Now this one is the hard one. This one is the big one. The big one. The be all and end all. As I say. See, this one is difficult. You know, this one is difficult. I won't even lie to you. I cannot even lie to you. Because I was adamant after Manchester City signed Ilkay Gundogan that they were going to win the league. But at the moment, I'll be honest, I'll be really honest, I can't see Arsenal even conceding a goal. It's going to be a difficult one. It's going to be a real difficult one. I hope Arsenal do it because I really would not want to see our Liverpool City do a 5-peat. I really wouldn't want to see that. So I do hope Arsenal do it. That is, hand on heart, that is the truth. But do I think they will do it? Mikel Moreno, Calafiori. Do you know what I mean? They haven't bolstered their attack. None of them new signs are going to start. Yes, Timber's back at defence. But is it wowing me? Not really. Am I impressed? Am I scared? Do I have faith and trust in Arteta to get him over the line this season? Not really. Do I believe Bukayo Saka will go away to the Etihad and score a goal, a winning goal? Or Gabriel Jesus do that? Or Trossard, Martinelli, Odegaard? Do I think they'll go to the Anfields, the Old Traffords? I know they won there last season. Do I think they'll go away to Stamford Bridge and win these games? Some of them they might. But I don't know. I just can't see them doing it. I think City will just steamroll the big away games. I think City will go away to that they did with Chelsea last week. I think they'll go away there and you saw how controlled it was, just cruise control. I just don't think Arsenal are going to do that. I just don't think they've got it in them. But my heart is telling me Arsenal win the league because I can't stand City doing it 5 in a row. But my head is telling me Man City. Ilkay Gundogan coming into the team, that's already fucking ridiculous. Rodri's not even back yet. And they missed him at points last season, and that's really where they sort of had their dip in form. You know, the Wolves away, the Arsenal away, and they didn't have Rodri in them games. They had a few injuries. They won't have many injuries. They won't have as many injuries as they had last season in them key moments, in them key games. And I don't know. I just can't see it. I just can't see looking past Manchester City. I just can't see it. Just can't see it looking past. I just can't look past Manchester City this season in winning the Premier League. Honestly. And it does pain me to say that. Really and truly, it does pain me to say that. I can't even lie. However, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that exact Premier League table. It does pain me that I do think City win 5 in a row. I do think that. I don't think Arsenal got it in them. I don't think they've done enough. I don't trust Arteta enough. I don't trust the likes of Saka and Trossard and Martinelli and Odegaard and Jesus and Havertz enough. I don't trust them enough to go to these way grounds like Stamford Bridge like your Anfields, like your Etihads, if you want to include Old Trafford in there. Yes, they done it last season before people sit there and go on to me, but this season will probably be a different fold. Last season we was checked out, mate. Yeah, we actually played. I don't know when we play them at Old Trafford, but I imagine it'll be quite an important time in the season because the season won't be just such a dead rubber written off like it was when we played them last season. It will be a much more tougher game. They were just cruise control. I can't see. I don't think they raised their. I don't think their game's that level as City. City's going away to these grounds and there's just no problem. They're going away to big away grounds and you need to just win 1 or 2-0 calmly, comfortably, collectively, and they just do that. They just do it better than anyone, and that's why I think. And they've also got the killer up front. I have full faith in Haaland. I have faith in De Bruyne to be able to turn up in big moments. I have faith in Foden to turn up in big moments. I have faith in Bernardo Silva to turn up in big moments. Faith in Ilkay Gundogan, Rodri. I don't have faith in any of them Arsenal players to turn up in the biggest of biggest games, in the biggest of biggest moments. I don't. The most clutch players are probably Havertz and Trossard, who have both never won a league title, or their centre backs, which are who are clutch. You know what I mean, in big games and things like that, they turn up for them. But I think they'll just miss out again, and that will be an uncomfortable. If they don't win anything this season, that is beyond uncomfortable conversations for Arteta, by the way. Beyond. None of this, oh, but how can we compete with Pep? Oh, but who's going to stop Pep? Well, Klopp and Conte did. Mourinho did, so go get one of them. Simple as, isn't it? Tuchel did in the Champions League. Ten Hag beat him in a fucking FA Cup. These are numerous times Pep's been stopped. Do you know what I mean? Numerous times. None of this whole, how can you compete with Pep? You can. Get the job done. Yeah, but if they don't sack him, if he doesn't win anything this season and they don't sack him, that club is beyond. That club is. I'll never be scared. I'll never respect that club, ever. I couldn't care less. They used to. By the way, back in the day. They were competing against United. They were competing against Fergie, treble winners, Free Peters, under Wenger, and there was none of that. Oh, but how can we compete with Fergie? They spend more money than us. They're richer than us. They got a bigger pool in the Premier League than us. There was none of that. It was all. We go out there to win. We have Thierry Henry goes out there to win. We have Dennis Bergkamp, we got there to win. And these excuses from Arsenal fans have to stop. You have to win something this season. You have to. You honestly have to win something this season. Do I think you will? I think you might win a domestic trophy. I actually think... No. I was going to say I actually think you'd more likely win the Champions League than Premier League, but you're Arsenal, mate. Yeah. And as I say, in big moments, I have no faith in any of their players. I think though, however, their defence is so solid that if they get lucky run in the Champions League, they'll win it. They can win it. Their defence is so rock solid. They can go to away grounds and stink out the gaff and then bring it back home. But my problem is with the league games is you saw last season they needed to win at Anfield. They needed to win the league the games that cost them last season: Anfield away, Villa away, Stamford Bridge away, and Etihad away, and there might be one or two more. I'm looking at it now. No, that was probably there were the 4 games last season that cost them the league. Yes, they beat Villa this time. That was a great result. Trossard off the bench. No idea why he started Martinelli. No idea why he doesn't start Trossard, because Trossard's a much better football player than Martinelli. No idea why Arteta doesn't rate him that highly. But for me, Arsenal, they just lack players in their attack, in their midfield, that I can go clutch away, dragging them through games. Not just dragging them through games to win trophies. Yeah, like a Drogba used to do for Chelsea, like a Ronaldo used to do for United. I mean, they've got players at their back in their defence that do that. Their defence drags them through games. Their defence stops them conceding goals. But they don't have attackers, they don't have midfielders, they don't have, Odegaard. How many big away grounds has he scored in? Seriously. Has he ever scored at Stamford Bridge? Probably not. I don't think he's ever scored. He scored at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium once. Can't lie. He's never scored at Old Trafford. I'm pretty sure. I want to say he's never scored at Anfield, and he definitely hasn't scored at the Etihad because he's played there. What? 2 or 3 times. He's lost 5-0, I believe. I don't know if he played in that game. Might not have actually played in that game. 4-1 and 0-0 draw. So he hasn't scored there. Someone made a compilation, by the way. The UCL draw takes place today. I did not know that. Someone made a compilation, by the way, the other day of Martin Odegaard's big chances missed in them big away games because he obviously missed an absolute sitter at Villa Park on the weekend. My word. He needs to sort that out. He's their captain. He needs to be able to turn up in big moments and big games. That's the difference between him and De Bruyne for me. Because you can look all good and play these fancy passes, but how do you turn up in the big games to drag your team through the mud and drag your team to trophies as a captain? Same with Saka, same with Trossard, same with Jesus, same with Havertz. I just don't have faith in them. They might end up proving me wrong, and I hope they do. Because I hope they win it instead of City and doing the 5-beat. Obviously, I hope my own team win it, but we're not going to win it. Let's be real. Yeah? I just hope Arsenal players do it, but I just don't have faith in them to do it. Whereas City, I have so much faith in Ilkay Gundogan to be able to go away to Old Trafford and score 2 goals. Phil Foden the same, Haaland the same, Rodri the same, Bernardo Silva the same, De Bruyne the same. I have faith in all these football players that play for Manchester City to go away to these big away grounds and be able to turn it on, be able to turn up, score important goals, get important assists, put in big performances, match-winning performances. I just don't have it in Arsenal. I only have faith in their defence to keep the score and make sure they don't get embarrassed. And another thing with them is no Odegaard backup. If Odegaard gets injured, he's played consistent football for 3 years. If Odegaard does get injured, they're fucked because who they're playing in midfield. Realistically, who are you playing in midfield in that position? What, that 16, 17-year-old or whatever it is? I don't even know how you say his name. Bukayo Saka, their backup is Gabriel Jesus, who's always injured himself, and Reece Nelson, again, not that great. And their number 9, Kai Havertz, is decent, but is it like, do you know what I mean? It's pass and parcel, do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's my thoughts on Arsenal. And City, there's nothing else needs to be said about them. They'll probably end up winning a Prem and a Champions League this season. It wouldn't surprise me, as I say. They're just phenomenal, weren't they? They've had a good I would say they've had a decent transfer window. Savio's a baller, absolute baller. Creative winger, proper winger. Beats his man, takes his man on. Ilkay Gundogan, we know how good he is. That's an unbelievable clutch player. Turns up in the biggest moments for him. And yeah, that's that. I don't think much more needs to be said about City. They are a well-oiled machine. I genuinely think they'll win the league again. I reckon it'll probably be like 91, 90 points. Arsenal on 90, and it'll be 1 or 2, 3 points in it. But I thought, by the way, Arsenal did finish 1 point off City last season. I swear their fans said that as well. Oh, I just tripping. They finished 1 point off City, and then it changed to 89 and 91. Don't know. Maybe I'm bugging. I don't really know. I can't really remember. Again, I'm sure they did. I thought it was a bit weird when I saw it. I thought they did finish 91 points off. But anyways, cheers for watching. We're going to go on Twitter though. We're going to go waffle on Twitter for a bit. Because, as I hear, Fabrizio Romano, Scott McTominay. Oh! Hold on, we're going to pause this just in case. Ooh! As we see, Scott McTominay in Napoli, welcomed by the fans. Welcomed. I had no idea he actually agreed personal terms yet. Oh yeah, it is on Here We Go, innit? So here we go. Says Neil Maupay to Olympique Marseille. Neil Maupay has tweeted something. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. I imagine he wanted to get out of that shithole. As I say, I don't blame him. Liverpool is a shithole. Yeah, Barcelona. But yeah, as I say, nothing else needs to be said about that. Liverpool signing Chiesa, nothing to be said about that. You'll probably know that. Again, this is a relevant signing to me. Mangala, he ain't going to come and light the world up. Neil Maupay was actually an half-decent footballer. I thought he was at Brentford, though, last season, Neil Maupay. Or was he on loan? Might have been on loan. Wesley is currently in Riyadh. I don't care about Saudi League, mate. Any news? No. Chelsea have sold a goalkeeper who was actually their main goalkeeper last season, and now they're playing their backup goalkeeper last season, who was trash last season. That's why he was their backup as the main goalkeeper, and sold their main goalkeeper from last season. Bit of an odd. They just have some weird. They have a weird transfer philosophy and policy, or whatever you want to call it. He's in. Chiesa's in Liverpool. Any hold on. That's Man United. Is there an Ugarte announcement? Fuck me. Ugarte announcement. Is there an Ugarte announcement? Sorry, I haven't clicked on the United. Thank you, Man United. Hannibal. Fuck me, I didn't need to do that. Best day as a United fan. Ronaldo return. Sorry, yeah. Fuck me, I don't know why I should do this. August Player of the Month. I ain't gonna vote for that. If I was gonna pick one, it wouldn't be number 17. Because he was on the fucking bench, mate. So how the fuck's he the Player of the Month? How's he the Player of the Month? What, because he scored one goal in a friendly? Seriously, how is he actually the Player of the Month? Again, if I would be honest, it's probably Mazraoui. Probably the only player that's performed in 2 out of 2 games he's played, but still. Fuck me, that's a stinky Cobes in the strip for them. What a goal this was, by the way. I went mental. I actually remember my cousin had a bet on Manu to have a shot in the game. And then when he got the ball here, I don't know, as I show you, Wan-Bissaka, when he gets the ball here, we went, shoot. And he done that, and you're just like, what the flip, mate? That was a tech and a half, mate. Tech and a half. I'm going to stop showing too much because I might end up getting, this thing might get taken down. What a footballer Kobbie Mainoo is, by the way. Unreal. As we all know, I've done the video about Walton and all that Walton hype. 4-month hype after a few dead rubbers. They thought, Kylian Mbappe's Twitter got hacked. What's it called? As I say, all that comparisons. Oh, but Walton beat him 4-0. And then Mainoo's a special type of baller. Do you know what I mean? Mainoo's a special type of baller. And them type of ballers like Mainoo, they only come once in a lifetime, or once every now and then in a generation. Big game player, unreal footballer. Hopefully we get a player next to him, and hopefully we get a player that can play instead of him, so he doesn't get burnt out and isn't played like Sterling 700 games, 600 games before fucking 29. So we manage him well. Brazilians. Anyway, we're gonna go on bookmarks. Actually, we're gonna go on bookmarks. Whilst I am looking, we're gonna go on bookmarks. This one is actually I found quite hilarious. Sandro Tonali's first game back in 308 days. 0 chances created, 0 tackles won, 1 big chance missed, 2 fouls won, 3 dribble pass. By the way, I only watched the second half of this game. A bit of rust, they said. Right? This is the stat merchants, right? Now you go here, look. Clearly didn't watch the game. Newcastle fans. Best player on the pitch for 60 minutes. Thank God we have eyes. Liverpool fan. Ironically got Darwin Núñez as his profile picture, by the way. He reps Darwin Núñez, but he's talking about thank God we have eyes. What a poor account that tries to stay relevant. Do better. Use your eyes, you wedgie victim. Whatever. How did Juventus manage to sell this wash play? It wasn't. Oh, he's going to get cooked in the replies, isn't he? Juventus never had Tonali. I know he came from an Italian team. Fuck you know, that's fucking hilarious. Forgot blood existed. Yeah, it's like deactivate your account. He's been our best player. So they're all in there saying stats, and eye test is the main thing. But that's what I've been telling you all. Stats is misleading, deceiving. And then if they go and argue to stick up for him, if he went and had loads of stats and then someone said he played bad, they'd bring up the stats. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up with these fans, man. They pick and choose when stats and when other things matter. Now moving on as well. We're going to talk about this. And listen, this is going to be a little rant. We're going to talk about this. We are going to talk about this. And you know what? We're going to go into the cam. Hold on. We're going to go into the cam for this one. So, yeah. I'm going to record this. We're going to record this as well. So this is going to go up as a YouTube video, yeah? So, all the Tin Pot clubs, or the fans of the Tin Pot club, sorry. So, from, I don't know, your Brightons or whatever, Newcastle, whatever, right down to your League One sides that are in the next round, the third round of the Carabao Cup, are all up in arms because I don't know the actual reasoning. I don't agree with this, by the way. I don't agree with the rule. I don't agree with it. However, they're all up in arms because the Premier League, or the whoever the fuck does the draw, the EFL, sorry, have done UCL, UEL team, UCL, UEL team, UCL, UEL team. So teams in Europe versus teams that aren't in Europe. They don't put teams in Europe against teams in Europe, sort of thing. And they're all up in arms, crying about an advantage, and all this bollocks. Now, I would have some sympathy for them if, by the way, I saw a Crystal Palace fan crying on Twitter. So I said, mate, have a bit of shame. Yeah? Because last season they played us in that tournament and they chucked out their C team. They chucked out their C team and lost 3-0. Why the fuck are you moaning? Why the fuck are you moaning? Why are you moaning? This is actually probably better for a lot of these teams, by the way. Because if a League 1 side or a League 2 side plays against a big team, right? Which, bear in mind, this is what they've been fucking screaming about replays. They've been screaming about FA Cup replays getting scrapped. If a small club plays against a big team, it gets some revenue to help them function. Especially if it's a League 2 team. It's massive. Wimbledon, I believe, got through, beat Ipswich. Massive for them. Yeah. I think Wimbledon are playing Newcastle. Newcastle got a good fan base, big fan base. Massive for them. Be great revenue. If the game's live, it'd be great revenue. Wouldn't it? Why are you all complaining? It's a Tin Pot trophy. You know what I mean? It's beneath clubs like Man United, remember? It's a Tin Pot trophy. Do you know what I mean? It's beneath clubs like Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Newcastle fans, when we beat them, it's a Tin Pot Energy Cup. When we won it, when Man United won it, and I'm saying as a Man United fan, it was an Energy Cup. You wouldn't celebrate. My cousin, who's a Crystal Palace fan, told me he wouldn't celebrate the fucking winning the League Cup. Wouldn't celebrate it. You know, the club with 0 major honours in its entire history wouldn't want to celebrate a League Cup. So why are they all crying? It's an energy drink. Bearing in mind, by the way, they're all crying about it being an advantage. Let's just talk about this. If it is an advantage, how is it an advantage? They have to play each other anyways. It's not like the Premier League or the EFL have made a whole separate competition for every team that is for every team that's in the Europe, and then they're handing out 7 or 8 trophies this season, of the same trophy. No, they're not. They're all going to play each other again one day, whether that be in the next round or the round after. They're all going to play each other. Only one winner, mate. Whether that be a League 1 side, a League 2 side, a Championship side, or a mid-table or a Tin Pot club in the Premier League. Maybe if you took these clubs, maybe they should hopefully, instead of them throwing it away, they go, oh fuck, you know what? We're away to fucking Man United. Do you know what? I'm going to stick my full starting 11 out to try and hope we win, and try and go through and have a nice cup run. They don't do that. So why the fuck am I going to feel sympathy for them? Seriously, why am I going to feel sympathy for them? It's a Tin Pot trophy, mate. It's a Tin Pot trophy. It's beneath. You know what I mean? Crystal Palace fans said that he wouldn't fucking celebrate it. So why the fuck are you all up in arms? I don't get it. They don't take it seriously. Big up to LB. He's a City fan. He said, haha, most of the teams don't take their competition seriously in the first place. I'd have some sympathy if they actually wanted to win it, but they don't. Exactly, it's true. I'd have sympathy for them if they wanted to win it. They don't want to win it. They don't give a shit about the competition. They just want the fucking revenue of playing a big club. You know what I mean? Crystal Palace, as I said, Crystal Palace came to... Fair play, by the way, because Newcastle are one team that actually do play their starting 11 out, by the way, before I get into it. And I believe Brighton will as well. Brighton will they didn't the other night. They did play quite a strong 11, but it wasn't... it was strong enough to beat Crawley at home, do you know what I mean? However, when they... with Brighton, I believe Brighton will play their strongest 11 if they go away to Old Trafford or go away to teams, yeah? Big teams. I am not, as I say, hating them type of clubs, but clubs like Crystal Palace, I've got no sympathy for them. While you came away to Old Trafford last season in that same tournament and chucked your fucking seating out. Seriously, what sympathy have I got for them? It's laughable. They just want to moan at everything. They want to complain about everything. Reality is, Barnsley against Man United is going to do wonders for Barnsley in terms of revenue. Even though it is a away game, it's going to do wonders for them. There's going to be millions of people watching that game from all around the world. They're going to get decent revenue. It's going to actually help them. It will help them much more than if they played fucking... for example, if they played at Brighton. Say if they played at Brighton and it wasn't televised, and they're going to lose 3-0 anyways. Like, realistically, use your logic. They just want to hate everything. Oh, but there's an agenda. It's all for the big six, for the big boys. Whilst that is probably true, by the way, there is a lot of this for big boys. I believe this is also, apparently, I think to help match congestion. Because obviously there's more games in the Champions League this season. More games in Europe this season. So, I believe that is one of the reasons. I believe that's what they said. I have no idea if that's actually true, but as I say, it's fucking hilarious seeing all these Tin Pot Clubs fans complain about it. You throw it away every fucking season. Like, you throw it away every season. How many of them teams have actually gotten to a League Cup final? How many? Last season, Chelsea-Liverpool. Fair play, Middlesbrough got to the semi-final. Fair play, Fulham got to the semi-final. Fair play. Hand up. But I can use my own experience from last season. Palace came to Old Trafford and sucked their C team out and lost 3-0. Got knocked out. Why? Why not play your main team? It's a fucking cup game. What's the worst thing that can happen? You lose. Oh, so be it. But they don't. I don't understand why. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I do understand why. There's no prize in winning for a Premier League club. There's no prize in winning a League Cup. Trying to have a cup run. No prize in it. I remember someone said like Southampton got relegated. What was it? 2 seasons ago now, or was it, 2 seasons ago? Southampton got relegated. You'd have to win the FA Cup, I believe, 44 times in a row to get the same revenue Southampton got for losing and getting relegated. There's no initiative to go and win. I mean, it's just, let's stay in the Premier League. League Cup, play our B team. FA Cup, play our B team. Not try and win a trophy. You go look in Spain. Bilbao just won a fucking trophy. Atletico Madrid, by the way, who've got a good revenue, that's built up over the last couple of years. Knocked out Real Madrid and Barca in the same tournament. Then obviously Bilbao knocked them out, and Mallorca got to a final. But in England, this don't happen, bruv. And if it does, it happens very rarely. Betis won it a few fucking years ago. Do you know what I mean? That's the equivalent, by the way, Mallorca getting to a final. That's the equivalent of fucking... Well, I don't know. That's probably the equivalent of fucking Leicester right now. Or Leicester's a bad option, because Leicester actually have won something, by the way. They actually know the aim of the game. I don't know. Who's a relative? Southampton. Equivalent of Southampton getting to a fucking final. Last time they got to a final was 2017 in the same League Cup. It's like, I have no sympathy. I have no sympathy for them. No sympathy for these clubs. At the end of the day, cry more. Simple. Cry more. If you didn't prioritise staying in the Premier League because of the money, and you prioritise trying to win a cup, I'd have more sympathy, but you don't. So yeah, cry more. and hopefully you all get knocked out and it's just the big boys, because it'll be more entertaining then. It'll be big games and it'll be harder games for us. And I'd much rather play Newcastle away on a Wednesday night or at home on a Wednesday night than play fucking AFC Wimbledon or something like that. I'd much rather, personally, much more entertaining for me as a Man United fan. Cheers though. Cheers for watching. Yeah. That's it. That's what needs to be said really on that matter. On that topic. Yeah, I have nothing else that really needs to be said. I think that's probably it for the stream. Gonna wrap this up. Yeah, that's probably it. I'll wrap this all up. That's my Premier League predictions. A little stroll on Twitter. Nothing else needs to be said. Cheers for watching. For you that have watched. For you that have tuned in. Yeah, honestly, cheers. Thanks for the support on the channel. We are trying to grow, trying to get to our 200 subs before the end of next month.